Come on, guys. I'm going to do this real fast. This is a prequel to the Sacred Secretion that I just did a little bit ago. That one ended up being about 28 minutes. I wanted to make it 15, but anyway, what is it? What's Sacred Secretion all about? Basically, in a word, it's about enlightenment. We'll talk about enlightenment and awakening another time, but they are distinctively two different things in my mind and in my experience. So let me go again. As you guys know, I'm of all religion and no religion. So but I like to use the wisdoms that we're taught and trying to make a little kind of make ends meet. In other words, in words and mysticism and different things like that that are, as we know, as I discussed in the other one, that the things are written in riddles and allegories and in stuff to understand. And it says if you don't understand these things, that's what they're written in allegories. They're for those that understand the mysteries. I'm going to try to teach you the mysteries. And how do I know? Well, on the bottom, go back, from bottom to top a little bit. How do I know that these things work? Because I experienced it. I've experienced it time and time again, being reborn and reborn again. I live it, and I lived it every day, and I live it every month, as we talk about, as we go down here on this one passage here that I think you'll find interesting. And then I'll go over the how do you go about it, and then if this interests you, then you can go ahead and watch the longer video, and then we'll talk. And have some questions and comments and stuff like that. Again, take no offense, because I'll take no offense as best I can. When I left religion in general, it was fully out of love. There were a lot of questions and things that happened, but I didn't leave in anger. I found a love that I can't, it's hard to explain, but that's what I'm trying to do, is actually explain my experience in a love I've never known before, and a peace, and a quiet, and a healing that I've never known before. With all the healing I've done, that I talk about in the next video, should explain it. So Revelations 22, 1 and 2, I always use the 1611 King James Version, because I like it as real as possible, and he showed me a pure river of life, clear as crystal. The pure river of life is a cerebrospinal fluid. Clear as crystal is the cerebrospinal fluid, Chrystall chrism. That has everything to do with the spinal fluid, starting from the skull, which is Golgotha, which is also the Calvary. That's what in ancient verbiage, that's what Calvary and Golgotha meant, was skull. Proceeding out of the throne of God, which is the skull and the brain, as clearly the kingdom of God is within, and of the Lamb. And Lamb, that's another word for lamp, light of the world, pineal gland, light. So picture the crystal clear, the actual fluid, the biological fluid that comes down crystal clear and becomes refined, that goes down into the pineal gland from the colostrum, pineal gland and pituitary gland. In the midst of the street of it, down the spine, and in the brainstem, and either side of that river was the tree. Either side of that river, the brainstem, the spinal, two hemispheres of the brain, we'll discuss that another time later, was a tree, in the tree of life. You'll see the tree of life when you watch that video. The two videos I suggest, and the next one I've suggested otherwise, that called the Sacred Secretion. John St. Julian's got a great one, and Keller Marie Kerr. You'll understand a little more. It points it out a little better. I'm speaking from my own experience, and was the tree of life, the nerve bundle. You'll actually see it looks like a tree, and it goes right down the spine. It's amazing. Which bear 12 manner of fruits, which are the monthly cycle from the colostrum. That happens every month, just like that's why the moon, uses these stars for signs, it says in Genesis. That's why the moon and those cycles are so critical, because they actually move water. Again, like I say in the other video, that's why women have certain menstrual cycles, because it goes by the cycles of water, which blood is obviously loaded with water, and our bodies are loaded with water. So yes, obviously it affects us. And yielded her fruit, so 12 manner of fruits, which is 12 cycles per year of the sacred secretion, the colostrum releasing that sacred oil. Sacred meaning, and keep in mind that the sacred is, we all know that secret comes from the word sacrum, which is actually the bottom of the tailbone, which are 5 fused bones together. Keep in mind with the other spine, that's 33 vertebrae, which, how many years was Jesus to have lived? It goes on and on. and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of nations. The leaves of the tree, branches of the nerves and spine, and as we know, the pineal gland, when the lamp, when the light in lamb, when that lights up, if thine eye be single, you be full of light. The immense, true biological healing that comes from them, for the melatonin, for the DMT, from all the other chemicals that come from there. Dr. Joe Dispenza has done amazing science on that. It heals going right down your brainstem, right down your spinal fluid, right down your spine. It heals the body all over the place. Now, back 2,000 years is a little different because they didn't have all the Coca-Cola, the sodas, and they didn't have all the garbage, the fast food, and all the trash that we have today. So it's a heck of a lot easier to do it. But I'm trying to teach you as best I can and share my experience with you is what you can do to get there. Body centers, states of being. So the nations don't mean actual nations, because obviously in the last 2,000 years, look at what the nations have done. How many hundreds of millions of people have been killed and destroyed, and how many, probably tens of millions, hopefully not hundreds of millions, will be destroyed in the future? Things just don't change in that way. So, the kingdom of heaven is within, and that's where you'll see that these things, when you leave yourself open and full of trust, without the fear, without the guilt, without the shame you've been taught since a child, not necessarily from parents, but just from the world, from religion, from different things. And religion can be great, but I'm trying to share my experiences here with the Sacred Secretion. How do you get there? Dump the guilt, judgment, pride, especially pride when it comes to all kinds of things, whether just pride in general. Fast. Prayer of feeling, do the prayer of feeling that I discussed in the other video and in the other videos. Alkalize, use the sauna detox, however way you do that. Do it alkalizing wise. Green juices would be fantastic. If you decide not to fast or water fast in a different way. Deep meditation, which is very critical to me. Proper sleep, of course, go to bed early. That's where obviously your pineal gland works best, when the melatonin is starting to be excreted from the pineal gland, when there's pure darkness. Get her done. And no alcohol. I haven't had a drop of alcohol in 9 years and don't intend to. We'll have some good videos on that hopefully in the future. No drugs, or minimize drugs, period, whether they're illicit or whether they're prescription. And of course, just minimize acid. Affirmations, that's the reason I have this on, is to remind me this is solfeggio. Actually, this is an affirmation. This is solfeggio music, which is beautiful. That helps work up the spine, and that's science too. It's been known for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, but now the science is all catching up to all the so-called wives' tales and the old mysteries and stuff like that. So anyway, affirmations, listening to solfeggio is terrific. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Again, how do I know? I experience it, and I'm in that process right now. This past Saturday, I quit eating. I fast with water only, and I will be done on Wednesday. And I can share with you what I expect to see, and I know I can see because I will have those 12 fruits, and I've had those 12 fruits every month for the last at least 2 years, and it's been amazing, life-changing, and I get to see it, and I hope you get to see it before your last breath, because sadly enough, that's when most people see it. So I'm going to end there, and thank you guys very much, and hope you like the other video, and salamat. We'll see you again soon. See ya.